Well, I have a lot of pimple. Okay. Anyway, so 2 weeks ago, while I was surfing Instagram, I saw one of my friends' Instagram story, and he was sharing a book called Man's Search for Meaning. And I decided to slide into his DM and message him, tell him that, hey, are you interested in having a conversation or a call through Zoom, and we can talk about the book, because I'm doing a YouTube channel and I want to do video about people talking about book, blah 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 blah. And yes, I'm the kind of friend who sends you random message, talk about random thing randomly. Anyway, I was kind of overloaded and overwhelmed with self-help book. And I read a bunch during the time I was in lockdown, so I wanted to read something new. So I saw my friends sharing a book. I happened to have the book in my iPad for more than 2 years, and I haven't read the book yet. And I think the book is great. I read a lot of good feedback and comment about it, so I think why not. And man, I didn't know what did I get myself into. So my friend and I, we decided to arrange a day for a call on Zoom, and fortunately there's no time differences between Indonesia and in Vietnam, so we arranged the call on Saturday, and it's just about few minutes until I call him. By the way, the book's name is Man's Search for Meaning, and I can't wait to show you guys about the book. Hi, Michael.
Hi, Mia.
Hi! Haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's like, when was the last time we met, though? It's like first year uni.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, first year in uni. Yeah, it's been, I think, 4 or 5 years.
How is the pandemic going on in Vietnam?
Well, we have the fourth wave at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really bad. I mean, in big city. What about in Indonesia?
I think our president has just announced yesterday that we are going to have our second lockdown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because the Delta variants is spreading like crazy in Indonesia. It's almost 24,000 cases per day here. Mm-hmm. So it's very creepy though. When I open my Instagram, it's like everyone is asking for blood transfusion or maybe sending some news that someone has gone away. It's very scary here now.
Really?
So I'm just staying at home every single day, working from home.
Oh, what do you do now?
I'm working as a copywriter. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I know it. Copywriter. Wait, didn't you major in business?
No, I'm doing marketing, but yeah, it's still kind of related, but it's actually a different field. It's more of communication what I'm doing now. But yeah, but it's still related to marketing.
Oh, okay. Anyway, let's talk about the book. I'm reading about this.
Sure.
Okay.
It's a long introduction, yeah?
Yeah, 30 minutes. So I have the questions with me.
Sure. Yep.
Okay. So the first questions about the book is, how do you describe your feeling throughout the reading experience?
Feelings. This is one of the books that gives me goosebumps, because it's just very relatable into your life. And then the moment when I read this book is when I was in the period of my life while I was having existential crisis. I just graduated from uni, and then I got my first job, but I didn't feel satisfied with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was asking myself, what is my purpose in life? Is what am I doing worth it, or is I'm just wasting my time doing this job at a time? And then I came into this book, and then it just like, I don't know, like struck my heart to the core because it's just so relatable. It's talking about that everything has a meaning, even though the bad stuff's in your life, that you have a free will and you have a choice to how you deal with it, to choose your attitudes towards all those negative things around you. And yeah, just like you said, it was like very intense. It gives me goosebumps so many times, like just reading his story and then just comparing my life to him, and then like just how grateful I am.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So why did you decided to pick this book at first?
Okay, so basically I don't really have any like kind of purpose or something when I choose a book. I'm just like satisfying my curiosity, and I'm just like fulfilling my love for reading. So every time I go to the bookstore, I don't have any idea or goals in mind. I just want to satisfy my curiosity. So, and then basically when I go to the bookstore, I will open my Googles, and then I will look at some books that I find interesting, and then I will look at the reviews on Google. And then one day I happened to meet with this book, and I searched on it on Google, and then the review was amazing. Then okay, I buy it.
Yeah.
So that's how I met this book.
Yeah. Wow. Well, actually, for me, I had this book in my iBook on iPad for a while, but I didn't read it. I mean, I didn't finish reading it because I just feel like intense reading the first few pages about his experience in the camp. So until I saw your story on Instagram, I was just like, okay, let me try to finish this book again. So I reread it again within a week, and I feel like I'm kind of regret a bit. No, actually a lot. Not reading it earlier in my life. Yeah, I do feel, after I finished reading the book, I was just like, man, I wish I was reading the book when I was in 2019. Yeah, it was a very, very challenging time in my life.
When you read it, but you are not prepared for it, or you don't have the right experience, or you don't have the right mindset for those books, it won't mean that much as when you already have that experience behind you.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably the same for you. Like it becomes more meaningful and more personal once you have and go through that experience, right?
Yeah. Man, there's some wisdom out there. Okay. Let's move on to the second questions. What are the highlights of this book, in your opinion?
For me personally, I really love the first part of the book, which is talking about Victor's experience in the camp when he's struggling with all the sufferings, and he was sharing his stories with his inmates in the camps. And why? Because it makes all of the knowledge that he already got as a psychologist, it's actually really useful in real life, because he actually practiced what he learned in his real life and show that what you learn can be really helpful. And then just showing that it makes me more like drawn into psychology, and then learning about how our mind works, and then how can we become a better human being by learning all those stuffs. Because at the end of the day, knowledge doesn't matter anything if it doesn't make you a better human being, right? Yes, I'm really drawn into the first part, the story. And then the way he tells the story is just really beautiful. It's really easy to understand, but very, very, really have a deep substance in it. Yeah. And I love it.
Yeah.
What about you?
My favorite is also the first part. Because I think, I read it slowly. I think it's the first part is also the main part of the book as well. I like the first part because yeah, it gave me goosebumps as well. But
Yeah.
what I like the most is I don't really feel like disconnected from the author, and
Yeah.
he can write a story and make me feel, and I mean it touched my heart and it touched my soul as well. It's also
Yeah.
touched my brain. It's also touched my mind. Crazy book.
Yeah, like his vulnerabilities, when he was writing his stories is amazing. Like he's literally explaining his emotion,
Yeah.
and then like he also explains how he struggles himself, and trying to preserve his human dignity when all the torturing happens around him. And then also and then I really remember the moment when he shared his stories about the free will, the free choice when it's in the camp, and then everyone was down, and then those stories are crazy.
Part. Oh my god, yes, yes, of course. Wow.
Yeah, when he suddenly like
Yeah.
stood up and then speak to all his friend in the shelter.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
when and then like yeah, it's really inspiring how he is still willing to actually share his thought and care about other people when himself is not in a great condition,
Yeah, yeah.
but he still can inspire other people, right?
Yes. Man, it was just like, you know, when I read that part, I was thinking that when I got, let's say, I cut my hand, for example, all I think about is my hand. I don't think about other people feeling. I victimize myself, but he not even victimize himself, and it just, I don't know, like, what kind of human is that? That was just, he just out of this world.
Yeah, like his empathy is amazing, you know, like
Yeah,
it's just like beyond it's just beyond my imagination. Like during those times you still are willing to actually share your thoughts and just don't care about yourself.
yeah,
And yeah, I think that's why this book has become like so popular and touched so many lives,
yeah,
because the man who actually wrote it has that kind of quality in him.
yeah. I think for me, apart from the, you know, he talked about people suffering and he got a chance to free himself from the camp. The other two part is when he talked about the moment he is remember his wife when he got tortured, and at the same time how it's helped him overcome his suffering at that moment. And then when he talked about love, and then I mean I'm just hopelessly romantic. I mean I believe in love, and then when he said that, it just, wow, how can, you know, like when people in the camp, I think when they're in a dangerous situation, what I think is how they can fulfill their material need. They don't really want to or need to fulfill their romantic side, or, you know, like feelings or stuff like that. But then he was thinking about his wife. He spared a thought for his wife, and he hoped like then when he said that, man, it's giving me goosebumps right now. And then he said that, and then he said that his wife is the biggest love in his life, and he gets through the hard time because he believes that, you know, like not just the wife himself, but the love that he gave for him and the love that she gave him had helped him to overcome the situation. And how he said that human need love, and I was just like, God, man, I believe in that. And then the other part that very challenged me to think about is the one when the war ended and everyone in the camp was free from and but they not happy. They weren't happy at
Yeah.
all. They were just like what's next? And they were just like, man, didn't you want to or wait for this moment? And then it's asked me a questions that maybe happiness is not a destination.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
And then the other part is if you
Now let's move on to the next part. Which part of the book do you struggle to understand or take more time to understand?
in terms of understanding, I don't think it is a hard book to understand for me personally. But what is difficult for me is actually managing the emotion when actually reading it, because it's such a really intense book, and it's a very personal, and I think it has a really deep human like nature in it that really struck you. So for me, understanding it is not the hardest part, but actually getting through every pages while also trying to concentrate and not get lost in your imagination and imagining all the sufferings. I think that those are the most difficult part for me. What about you?
I think the hardest part is the logo therapy part, the second part of the book.
Oh,
He
yeah.
explain the method of how he's trying to work with, like people who used to experience from the camp, experience in the camp. Because I used to study behavior study before, so it's somehow related to psychology and human behavior, and that was something very new to me. But yeah, I think the whole book, it took me 2 years to actually reread the book again. So
yeah, just like I said, like sometimes you need to have that kind of your life experience behind you for you to understand some books.
yeah.
And it happened to me as well, but on different books anyway.
So the next question is, which part of the book do you feel more resonate with your life?
The most resonate with me, pull my memory. I think the moment when he quotes the Nietzsche saying, when a man has a why, he can almost bear almost anyhow. There's something like that. Yeah, it's all about it's all about, basically for me it summarized the whole book. Basically, if you have a reason to live, and you have to find it yourself, what is your reason? Then anything negative, any negativity, anything that happens into you, you can always go through it, whatever it is. And then his example is using when you have some unfinished project, unfinished work, or you have someone you love who you want to meet, or any kind of unfinished project in your life that you want to fulfill. Those are like good enough reason for you to survive and to live. So it just gives me like hopes that whatever happens in my life, as long as I'm doing my best, and everything is gonna be all right. Like, it just gives me the motivation and the spirit inside myself to just like not giving up. And like, if he can do it, like, who am I to complain with all of the condition that I have? if he can still like think about it and have that kind of hopefulness in his life. Yeah, I think that is one of the most like resonate part of the book for me.
What you were talking about, like feeling giving up. So
Yeah.
when do you like when do you want to give up? Like when does that feeling happen? to you? Like what kind of situation?
I think for me personally, it's not about giving up. It's more about like doubting myself and then questioning myself. So it's kind of give me like anxiety. Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I on the right track in my life?
Yeah.
I think it was during my first year after I graduated, because like those time are really like challenging for me, because my background is I'm a basketball player. Like I was a student athlete. I used to play basketball the whole time. So my whole life is all about basketball. I was like living in a tunnel, in a chamber, not knowing anything about the world. And then I decided to retire, and then I moved to Australia. And then during that times, I started to, I don't know, like kind of rediscover myself, to finding stuff outside basketball that actually I'm good at, And then but along the time when I was studying, I didn't find it. I was still like playing basketball, and I didn't really know what to do. But then when once I graduated, and then I decided to become a copywriter. It was such a big jump for me, just like a leap of faith. Because like it's kind of funny how I got into copywriting, because I got into writing because I was like broken-hearted, because I was broke up with my ex-girlfriend at the time. And then the way I heal myself is through writing, by like pouring all of my feelings into writings. And then suddenly I got some like positive comments that I get, and it just like kind of reminds me at the time when I was still playing basketball. And then I thought like, okay, is it like some kind of sign from God or from the universe trying to help me, to show me the way? And then I just like make a Google, and I search like what is the most highest paid job for writing. And then I found copywriting. Okay, and then I did like some research on it, and then I found that like, okay, if you want to do like copywriting, you have to do this, and this, which is kind of not really helpful, because actually in real life, it's more than that. It's more complicated than that, what copywriting is. But then I just made the leap of faith, and then I got into the startup company that I told you before. Like they're like moving in the education technology industry, and then I got into there. But first, it was a real struggle, because I didn't have any experience or any knowledge or any education background in communication. And like I do have background in marketing, but it's totally different actually. Because as a copywriter, it's all about communication, and then I have to learn everything again from the scratch. And I made a lot of mistakes. I like almost got my company like sued by one of the because of like copyright issues, because I guess it was my fault. I should have known better. But yeah, I think it was during that time that I started to like questioning myself, like, am I in the right track? Because I didn't have any experience about writing. I don't think I'm creative enough. I'm not someone who likes to write growing up. Like why did I choose this path? How can I be like successful, or how can I like make something out of it? Because like I was very ambitious when I just graduated. But then I met this book, and it gave me a really huge like mindset shift. And then I started to look at my job from different perspectives, and I started to look at it as a process for me. That whatever this career path that I choose turn out to be, that I won't regret anything, because I know that deep down in my heart, when I chose to be a copywriter, I ask myself that if I don't choose this career path, then I will regret myself at the end of the day. And then I just kept reminding myself that over and over again by the help of this book. So that's how I survive. And now I'm kind of more of like chill person. I don't take myself too seriously.
It's just amazing the conversations we have for like 2 hours. Like I want to talk more, but
It's nice, especially if you have someone who can actually connect and
Understand.
share like your thoughts without any judgment.
yeah, I was so surprised too, like, because I haven't talked to you for a while, like, and I was so worried that, what if things go off and like everything have to start it like again, and but it actually went really smooth, and I'm so appreciate your vulnerability and your sharings too.
Yeah, me too as well.
Yeah, well,
Thank you very
grow up
much.
so much in person. My God, what did life do to Miguel? I still remember why I call you Miguel, you know. Yeah, so great. Thank you so much, Miguel.
Yeah,
Thank you. Appreciate
sure.
so much.
Say my hello to if you meet her.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
It's been a while.
Very long time.
Okay.
Very long time. Okay, I see you later. Bye bye.
Okay, keep in touch.
Keep in touch.
Keep in touch.
Bye bye. See ya.
Bye. Yeah.
Secret that human poetry and human thought and belief have to impart. The salvation of man is through love and in love. I understood how a man who has nothing left in this world still may know bliss, be it only for a brief moment, in the contemplation of his beloved. In a position of utter desolation, when man cannot express himself in positive action, when his only achievement